Okay, recording has started. It has started over there and over here. That should be where we start. Alright, hi guys. I trust and I hope you're doing well. I know we certainly are. So I'm just gonna, try and continue the conversation from the other day about the Triumph Scrambler 400X. It's been launched on the 10th. Launched matlab, it's like they've not officially come out and said it, but it is there, as in the pricing and all is completely disclosed. And of what we know, media rights and all have happened. I think yesterday, all those big media channels that we'd probably be referring to, they've already gone ahead and tested out the bike. But there's an embargo, meaning that they can't disclose any information or rather show their opinions and reviews and everything till after the 18th or on the 18th. Till then, what we are left with is really looking at what's the material that's already available and trying to make some sense out of that. I mean, it obviously makes a lot of sense, but we'd still try and dig in deeper and try and understand it. So let's just go through some of the specs and understand what exactly is on offer, and what do we also know about the new Himalayan, however you want to pronounce it, right? Over here we call it Himalayan. So the new Himalayan 452, let's try and talk about that. Alright, so this is on Triumph's own website. You can see that they've put up the price over here, available from 2,62,996. This is X showroom, Mumbai. X showroom, actually this is the price. X showroom all over, it's going to be that price only. On-road pricing would vary depending upon the city. So it's currently being offered in 3 different colors. This is the Phantom Black and Silver. I think it looks pretty cool. There's the red and black, which is Carnival Red and Phantom Black. Looks nice. I think this will stand out. And then there's the khaki green, which is supposed to be the typical. Oh, there's the 360 option is not there on this. Okay, so the matte khaki green fusion white, typical Triumph sort of color, the Scrambler sort of color. Looks nice. Looks pretty interesting. So what exactly are we getting with this bike? So it's 262,996, 263 in other words. As we've all known, a single cylinder 400cc or 398.15 400cc, right? 89.0 mm of, that's the bore size, and stroke size 64.0 mm. Let's not get into that, but of what I read, it looks a little similar to the KTM 390s as well, or now the new KTM actual 400cc engines, right, is what they're having, I think, something like that. Anyways, what's important over here is it's saying it's 40 PS of power or 39.5 bhp. Okay, this is interesting, and 37.5 Newton meters of torque at 6,500 RPM. That means maximum torque will come in at 6,500 RPM, and beyond that you could try and push the bike, but it will not. It's not going to be the most efficient beyond that point. After 8,000 RPM, it's not going to be the most efficient in terms of producing any more power at 39.5 bhp. That's where the most amount of power is going to be available. So it's fairly torquey, fairly torquey a motor. ये बाकी सब ठीक ठाक है. Okay, so what are we looking at? 39.5 bhp of power. That, and what's the actual weight of the bike? Chassis, blah blah blah. Dimensions and weight. Chalo. Dimensions and weight, 185 kilograms. Okay, so 39.5 bhp and 185 kilograms. If we put that over here on the power to weight ratio calculator, 39.5, and we were saying that it weighs 185, I think it said, right? 185 kgs, yeah, 185 wet weight, also curb weight, meaning that it has all its oils and fuel, everything in it. with standard equipment, it's about 185 kgs, which roughly equates to around 213.5 per ton. Okay, so that's a fair bit of power. All right, it's a fair bit of power. That's a good thing. You should be able to sustain higher speeds for longer durations. Okay. All right. So what else do we know? So the bike, it's coming with, as we have read, right, 150 mm of travel in the front, and for the rear shock, it's got 150 mm of travel, and I'm not sure if the swing arm is longer, but overall the wheelbase is longer than the Speed 400 at 18 millimeters. So longer wheelbase means better high speed stability. So this should be good for highway commutes. Of course, it doesn't have a windscreen or anything, so you're going to feel wind blast. I think Bullu Patnaik on his channel did mention that about the Speed 400, that it is able to hold speeds and cruise very easily at 100, 110, or in some cases even 120. But what you're really feeling is the amount of wind that is blowing at you. So it's got a 13-liter fuel tank. What's the range that is going to give you? That's going to be interesting to try and find out. Fuel consumption may, I mean, they put a section fuel consumption, but it's showing us CO2 figures. So I don't know, something's up with their website over there. 83.8 grams per kilometer, Euro 5, blah blah blah. Fuel consumption data measured according to regulations, blah blah blah. हाँ वो सब ठीक है, but कितना देती है is the question that we all want to know, right? कितना देती है? So if it's anything like the Speed 400, according to what people have reported, and this is now Bikewale's website, so I've just put up, you know, a simple comparison, sort of like what are other bikes that people may be considering, right? So Speed 400, this has already been out for about a month or month and a half maybe. People have already reported that this bike is giving roughly around 30 kilometers to a liter. It'll be mixed, right? With highway and city riding, probably 30. I'd say 27 to 30 is roughly where you're at. And that's probably what we're going to see over here. If you get 30, you know, for a 400cc motor, that's actually pretty decent, right? Considering that this is a KTM Adventure X, I specifically selected Adventure X because वो थोड़ा KTM Adventure में, that's the, you know, slightly cheaper sort of variant that is there. और उसका 28 kilometers per liter is what owners have reported. Now this bike has been out for longer, so a lot more users, a lot more experiences. 28 is, you know, a lot more realistic. 30 kilometers, it's possible, right? It is possible depending on how the bike is tuned up. So 390 kilometers range, if it's like the Speed 400, that's roughly what you're saying, 390 kilometers. तो अगर लॉन्ग राइड के लिए लेके जा रहे हो, a bike like this specifically is more towards the long ride ideas and stuff like that. 390 kilometers I think is pretty decent. If you're doing a 500 kilometer ride, then you'd probably have to fuel up. I mean, if it's 500 meter one way and you're planning on riding back 1000 kilometers, you'd probably have to fuel up thrice, right? Roughly about 3 times to do that entire range, if at all. So it's not that it's, you know, saves you any money or anything. If at all, it only saves you time. You don't have to keep halting every now and then. 170 kilometers per hour is what you know, what's claimed over here for the Speed 400. Doesn't mean that you should ride the bike at that speed. It only implies that, you know, for you to cruise at you know, speeds like 110, 120 will still feel pretty comfortable on this bike. So that's what's really interesting to see. Now when I'm saying comfortable, you know, that's obviously subjective. Each person's idea of comfort is different, but what I would imagine is that like we've already stated, there is going to be a certain amount of wind blast and all that happening. So keeping that in mind, you may want to do some of get some of the accessories that they're offering to try and see how you can make the experience better. But then what will that mean in terms of the cost? Now the price over here that we're looking at, 3,17,359, this is the on-road price for where I am. I'm staying within the Thane region, so Thane, Maharashtra, right? So the pricing at 317 is on road, otherwise it's 262, 263, right? Okay, so let's see whether we can configure this thing. Customize karu shakta hai kai? Triumph booking. No, it's not showing over here, no? Baku, Maharashtra, Thane. Book now will take us. No, this is not what I want to do. I don't want to do that now. 10,000 रुपये मेरे पास थोड़ी ना ऐसे फेंकूं. But है क्या अपना configurations and all that? Customize उधर ही था यार. साले डोले की क्या है? Okay, so what are the things that we have? The bike, the color. Okay, so this is currently khaki green, 263. We change color, no change in pricing. Pricing is mentioned at the bottom over here. Okay, so we're keeping it as, let's say we'll go with the, I'll keep it the khaki green only. I don't know, I think it looks decent, right? Accessories. I don't care about luggage. Comfort, seat, no, don't want. We want protection. Okay, sump guard डालना है या नहीं, don't know. Lower engine bars. Okay, we'll put this. That brings it up to 264,999. Mud splash protection kit. What is that? Mud splash protection kit. I'm guessing that's just either rear guard or something like that. It's not specified over here. Let's see details. Only kit for enhanced rider protection from mud splash. Okay, now you know. All right. Hi mud guard. How are you? Okay, so that's interesting, right? You can put a high mud guard, it'll look like this. Oh, this is the mud splash protection kit, is it? No, this is the high mud guard. If I remove the high mud guard, high mud guard looks like this. So bring the mud guard up, changes the mud guard over there. And then if you want, you can put the tank pad. That takes the price up to 267 from 263. Okay, so 4 grand for some of these accessories. Still not having the win thing. The sump guard, which I think is essential, but probably something you could look at doing a little later. Only if you want to, from day one you're going to take this out on really crazy terrain, then probably go in straight for the sump guard. Otherwise you may want to try and put that a little later on. So I'm not going to put the sump guard, right? Styling. Oh, apparently this coated screen is only for styling. Polycarbonate fly screen is injected, molded and hard coated for durability and optical clarity and offers increased wind protection. So it's not a styling thing, yeah. But anyway, it's fine. The screen requires specific mounting kit. Okay, so you can't just buy this this windscreen, you got to get its mounting kit. So let's say we're adding this, confirm. Okay, add that accessory. Screen fitting kit is also added. Okay, so that's 391 and 325.28. So that will take the price to 2,68,000. And then front plate mounting, number plate mounting over there. Flip. Oh flip. Oh flip. I wonder if if I had selected a different color, would it have given me any other option? No. Chalo, red color also is looking nice now. We'll just keep that there. Okay, seat we'll keep it as stock. So luggage not interested in right now. Comfort we'll say okay, let it be. Indicators don't need to be changed. It's only a a fancy thing. If you want it, go ahead, right? Otherwise, not required. Even the silencer, I don't think is going to offer anything else extra. Stainless steel twin silencer with Scrambler style inspirations, Triumph branding, and includes replacement heat shield. Okay, yeah, it's not really offering anything more apart from styling. I mean, that should have been part of styling, but heck, whatever. Not interested in the luggage right now. Luggage can be accessories that we put on later on, although you could consider putting on a rear tail rack. So if I put that in, that takes us up to 270.784. 270.784. Now, what else costs 270 is what we'll have to check to get an idea of how much this could end up costing us on road. Okay, so can I find out what is the price? Remove this. Select bike. Which other bike can I select? Which other bike is in that 270 range? How much is the Dominar 400? 288 is the Dominar 400. Okay, if we select Dominar 400, kitna hoga? Oh, that is on-road price is 288. Okay, my bad. My bad. You better watch out, the wolf is coming. I'd imagine it's somewhere over here. Huh? Baby. I think it'll bring it closer to the Adventure X. What? No cars? Ain't no car, bro. I think it'll come closer to this particular price, if at all, once you put all the accessories on. I mean, the accessories that we have put on the bike, they have taken the price up by only 8 grand actually. You know, so you could probably expect an increase on the overall price by 10,000 rupees, 10,000 to 15,000 rupees probably with most of these accessories. So from 317 to probably 320, 330. It's not a cheap bike, okay? But if you're talking about you know, a Scrambler style 400cc bike from an international brand, although it's made by Bajaj, right? KTM also is an international brand made by Bajaj though. It's actually pretty good in terms of the price for what's on offer. Currently 390X is probably the closest comparison that I could think of in terms of a bike with similar amount of power and similar sort of capabilities. Maybe the 390X from KTM, Adventure 390X, let me be a little more specific, that is probably a little more capable in terms of the terrain that it could travel. Maybe not. I mean, while it is an adventure bike and this is supposed to be a scrambler, we know that everyone's going to use the adventure like a scrambler and a scrambler like the adventure. It's how it is, right? It's how it is. So the bike that is currently coming out from the Royal Enfield stable is really the closest other thing to competition. Right now the Royal Enfield Himalayan 400 is not really the current competition. Okay, you know, people will probably compare the Royal Enfield Scram 400 or 411. That's not competition. It's not competing. Okay, it's definitely not competing at all. The design and stuff like that, I don't know, I personally feel that bike's a little confused about what it is. But when we are talking about the kind of power that bike has, the 411 24.3 bhp, of course it has torque, right? And it has torque coming in quite low, for 4,250 rpm and 6,500 rpm for the bhp. Maximum power is coming at 24.3. It's not really a very powerful bike. This roughly translates, actually the bike is about 199 kgs if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere I already mentioned. Okay, the bike is 185 over here. Fine. So this is the Scram, right? 24.3 and 185. 24.3 and 185. That's 131 HP per ton versus 213, right? So extremely underpowered. I mean, I didn't really need to put it over here to try and give you an idea, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. So, you know, the current crop of Royal Enfield, or if we were to put in the Honda, sorry, not Hero, the Honda CB350 RS. Where's Honda? Honda's right on top. Honda CB350 RS as well. You know, even if we put this, it's not in the same league. Okay, this also is supposed to be a scrambler. Kind of is. It kind of is. Okay, but it doesn't compare. Okay, this is more relaxed, laid back. See where's the torque coming in at 30 Nm of torque at 3000 RPM, way down low. This is more like a Royal Enfield bike, and you know, if you've ridden one or ridden close to one, it's very much like a Royal Enfield bike. So what Royal Enfield has now, or is coming out with, which is going to come out on the 7th of November, and we'll start seeing a whole lot more leaks. We know who's leaking it, right? Royal Enfield, we know you're the one who's leaking all that information, and you know, intentionally doing so. We're not against it. Okay, so this bike, estimated price 260, 270. It's going to be pretty competitive, offering 452 cc's at 196 kgs. I mean, it is slightly heavier, but it's also 50 cc more. But it's got 39.47 bhp, so that's very, very close to the Scrambler itself. So very, very close. It's going to be really interesting. Now, if it's anything similar to the previous Royal Enfield Himalayan, or the existing Royal Enfield Himalayan, you know, probably a 15-liter fuel tank and a range of 27 to 30 kilometers a liter. I'd imagine 27 actually. You know, it's probably going to be a similar sort of range to the Scrambler. So it's going to be really interesting. The question is, how much will they really price it at? What you end up getting though with this sort of a Royal Enfield bike, you know, and there's quite a lot that has come out about the bike recently. There's Itchy Boots, who posted a video where we got so much of a glimpse of the bike itself. You know, there's quite a lot that's happening, right? One, you're already getting this fly screen, or you know, the wind protector. No extra cost over there. The screen that is there, that is, I'd say the jury is out on that, right? Now, it's a love it or hate it sort of a thing. Sabko pasand nahi aayega sort of a look. You know, it's right in the middle and it's vertically placed, but it's quite functional. You know, in that Itchy Boots ka video dikha kya? Remove buzzing noises. YouTube Itchy Boots. You better watch out. The wolf is coming. Yeah, this video. I don't know if I'll get copyrighted just for showing the video.
It's a lot more powerful.
See this? A windscreen. And you know, at this scene, she's basically saying it's a lot more powerful. Oops, wrong button pressed. Okay. Apne ko ye karna tha. Lot more powerful. I mean, she's pretty fortunate to have been able to check the bike out. Everyone's been screen grabbing this and has been posting it. You know, some people even putting their watermarks over, you know, her photos. I don't know why, yeah. But that's typical. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show. Here, the navigation that is there right on top, and what Norali was saying, Norali, I think, right? So what she was saying is that, oh, it's getting kind of dark over here. What she was saying is that you're able to cast the map from your phone over here, and it actually shows the map, not just turn by turn navigation as it's showing over here, but you're able to actually cast the map itself and have a look at that. And I think that is very, very cool. So it's going to be really interesting. I think by the looks of it, there is this portion which is just going to be like a separate piece floating over the screen. The top section of the screen is supposed to be just maps and certain other features maybe, and then the lower section, these are fixed cutouts where specific elements are going to be shown. I at least that's how I imagine this is going to be. So yeah, the way it looks is kind of oddball design, but I think it works. I think it is something that would work. So it's going to be interesting to really see how this bike is. These mirrors really look very interesting actually. So I don't know if it's a stock mirror or if that's how. Angle dikka apne ko waisa. See this mirror. Right? I do not know if this is a stock mirror or if this is an accessory mirror. I am guessing this is an accessory touring mirror. If it's stock, man, it's looking pretty cool. Looks like it is adjustable, vertically and horizontally, or rather, something that will swing up like this types. At least that's what the design looks like. Don't know, but overall pretty interesting. I was really happy when she posted the video. I was really excited to see the bike and to hear her thoughts, considering that she is an avid off-roader. और हम लोग तो इतना ऑफ रोड चलाते नहीं है, लेकिन हमारा रोड ही वैसा है जिसकी वजह से ऐसा बाइक सब काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग लगता है. So yeah, quite interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what this ends up becoming like. Are you interested? Are you excited by what you're seeing? Because I certainly am. I'm really waiting for everyone to post their thoughts, waiting to see when I may end up having an opportunity to go and try one of these out. God knows, yeah. I'm just like one of y'all, right? We sit, you watch it either on our phones or watch it on a computer and feel all excited. Anyways, I just thought I'd share my thoughts, my views. I think the bikes that are coming out right now are really interesting, especially for those who have been riding on 200 cc's and 250 cc's. This particular segment, the 400 cc segment, I think that's good enough for like a gradual upgrade. It's not a significant upgrade. You're not getting into something that is extremely overpowering, and that to the price point at which these bikes are coming out at is actually really good. So overall, I am happy and I am excited for what the future is looking like, at least on roads. If one of my friends end up buying the bikes, I'm going to test it out. If I'm able to get my hands on the bike, I'll definitely want to test it out. Alright, cool. That's enough of jabbering from me. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. What do you think? What is your take? Alright. So this has been a long video. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you thought any of this was good and you want to support what we're doing, drop a comment, okay? But otherwise, with that, thank you so much once again. Take care, stay safe, stay blessed, and ride safe. Peace. End scene.